here in the midst of many friends and many family members to announce formally my candidacy for President of the United States.
It is official. U.S. Congresswoman Michelle Bachman is running for president in 2012. The outspoken and controversial Republican kicked off her campaign in her hometown of Waterloo, Iowa. She's popular amongst Christian conservatives as well as the Tea Party, and new polling suggests she is a real threat to U.S. President Barack Obama. For reaction to Bachman's announcement, we go live to Washington and Doug Wead, U.S. presidential historian. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Seamus.
Well, I remember only a few short years ago, Bev and I sitting here and hearing the news that a previously unknown governor of Alaska was going to meet John McCain, and we quickly Googled Sarah Palin. Who is this Sarah Palin? Now I think a lot of people this morning are probably doing the same with Michelle Bachman. What can you tell us about her in a nutshell?
Well, she's a congresswoman from Minnesota, and her special appeal in the polls is to the social conservatives, the religious right, and uniquely to the liberty movement, or the constitutional movement made popular by Congressman Ron Paul.
Now, we're going to show clips of some of the more controversial comments she's made over the past few years. And we're not picking on her in the sense that we're cherry picking. She regularly makes some very explosive comments, and here's a few of them.
Not all cultures are equal.
I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America? I think people would love to see an expose like that.
There are hundreds and hundreds of scientists, many of them holding Nobel Prizes, who believe in intelligent design.
Homosexual and lesbian activists who live here in Minnesota will be able to travel to Massachusetts to have their same-sex relationships declared marriages by the state of Massachusetts. If we allow this to happen, group marriage, polygamy, and things much worse may not be far behind.
Tell me, in your opinion, I mean, do those comments hamper or embolden her campaign?
Well, they emboldened her with some in the Iowa caucus, but in the long run, this is a long road for her. I'm advising the Ron Paul campaign, and she's appealing to the same voters. And I can tell you from the inside that the Ron Paul campaign has lots of money and a big ground game, and that's really what you want at this stage in the process. To give you an example, last time around, Rudolph Giuliani was leading in the polls at this point, and only a couple months ago, it was Donald Trump. So this vetting process, these questions and her responses to them, this will go on. That's why usually a person has to run for president multiple times before they really get a good shot at it. So she hasn't been vetted yet.
No, you're right. Barack Obama being the anomaly there. But let me ask you as well. I mean, even amongst people you would think that would be sympathetic to her opinions, like those on Fox News, sometimes give her a hard time because of the number of gaffes that she's made. And I think we've got a clip here of one interview that she did with Fox.
Are you a flake?
Well, I think that would be insulting to say something like that because I'm a serious person.
But you understand when I say that's what the rap on you is.
Well, what I would say is that I am 55 years old. I've been married 33 years. I mean, people have been very forthright with her in the way that she's been very forthright with others. I mean, I guess if nothing else, this is going to be an entertaining campaign.
It'll be entertaining. And, you know, I have a column about all of this in Newsmax this evening. And I will just say this. She's a little more disciplined than Sarah Palin, but those on the inside of her campaign who talk to me describe her as Sarah Palin light, so if you can imagine that. So it will be an interesting
Sarah Palin
process.
light?
To give you an example, never in American history has anyone risen to the presidency from that position that quickly. The closest would be Woodrow Wilson, who was president of Princeton and governor of New Jersey for 2 years before becoming president, but he was opposing a split Republican Party with two former presidents running against each other, so very special circumstances.
Sir, thank you very much for your time. It'll be interesting. We appreciate it.
Thank you. It'll be interesting. Thanks, Seamus.